What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This week's gonna be a special one. It is the Joe Hicks Memorial at Cridersville. I'm really excited for this one. So it's in memory of Joe, obviously. For those of you that aren't from around here or don't race at Cridersville or anything like that, or maybe new to the channel, Joe, in my mind, is what was gonna save Cridersville. So he's always been part of the track. He's always been part of the board, and he's always wanted the best for that place. And he never really, always had the power, or I guess the voice to get things done. But after last year, some of the crap that had went on, basically Joe stepped up and said, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to make this place great again, and I'm in charge. So, over the winter, Joe became the president. He got voted in. He got a whole new board. I think he put a lot of good people in place that needed to be there. The whole track crew is different. Just everything's different. He was really, he had big ideas, he had good ideas, he had some nice plans to try and make the place good again and trying to get the cart counts back up and what it always should be. So it's really, really unfortunate what happened because he was doing a good job and things were changing. And don't get me wrong, I know I complain about Cridersville a lot and I throw a fit about it a lot, but it is better this year. It's way better this year than what it has been in the past. But I think if Joe was still around, it'd be even better than what it is now. So it was a very unfortunate thing. So what they're doing is a $2,005 to win flathead race. The reason why it's 2005 is because 5 was Joe's number. Right? The reason why it's flatheads is because that was his favorite class. Even though the flatheads kind of died off, they always still had a yearly flathead race for like $500 or whatever. So, to honor Joe, they're going to do it with the flatheads and put up all that extra money, so that's really cool. And they're also paying money out in medium and heavy, and I think Junior 1 and Junior 3 and a couple Predators, like just money all around just to, show support for Joe. Joe was the man. Joe was making Cridersville what it needed to be again. So just to show you what kind of a guy, Joe was, his neighborhood, like his neighbors, the people that lived around him, donated money to this race. So I think it says a lot about a person and who you are when the people that just like live next to you want to donate to the race in your honor. So I think that shows how awesome Joe is. I know a lot of people have stepped up and sponsored this and put money forward and added to the purse. I've put money in on it. Kirk's done a lot for this. Her and Joe were really close. They were buddies. Back whenever we had that scuffle where that dude tried to punch her, Joe was the one advocating and sticking up for her. When the track wanted to throw her out and ban her, Joe said, no, that's not right. You don't let dudes swing on girls and let them get away with it. So, Joe always stuck up for Kirk. He's yelled at me whenever I've needed it. He's like sat me down for a race and put me on probation. Like he didn't play favorites. If you did something wrong, he let you know and he punished you the way he thought it needed to be, whether it was putting you on probation or not letting you finish the night or kicking you out. Joe didn't put up with no crap, and that's the way it needs to be everywhere, especially at Cridersville. And they've done good this year. You can tell Joe's influenced the people there a lot by the way it's been ran, but I think it'd be even better if he was there. And Joe's passion was Cridersville, it was go-karts, it was the flathead, and it just was, that was his passion. So I think it's good, that they're giving back to him this way. And like I said, him and Kirk were close. So, for any of you that don't know Overdrive Designs, the ones that's on the side of all the go-karts, you can't see the logo. That's her business. So, we run it out of my basement. She's put up $55 for the hard charger. So if, you start last and you finish second, you get $55 courtesy of Overdrive Designs because she wanted to get back to the race. She's going to make an award for the hard charger. She's made all the trophy checks, like she made a special wrap for me. She made a special wrap for her brother, just anything and everything to try and give back to the race because Joe meant a lot to her and Joe meant a lot to basically everyone at Cridersville. So I think it's good. She's got some other things we're going to do, which I think I'll go over later in the video. So, it's all good and it's all for Joe, and I'm really excited about it. So, like I said in the last video, we're kind of busy right now in our personal lives, and no, it's not because of all you people think. But, I'm out here burning the midnight oil, trying to get stuff ready because I want to be as good as I can be for this race. I know there's a lot of people maybe not a lot, but I know of a few people from down south that are coming up. I've seen some names, commented and making interest. So there's going to be some really good guys here, some really fast guys. I think us Cridersville locals are going to be in for a little bit of a shock at, maybe who shows up and how fast they are. So I think even though it's, my local track and I run here all the time, I think just to make the show will be good, I'd be pumped if us Cridersville locals can make the show and put on a good run, just for Joe to show him, look at us go. We can do it. We can run with the big dogs, and maybe we can, maybe we can't. We'll see, but I'm excited for it. I'm pumped. I think it's a good way to honor Joe and Joe's memory because Cridersville was his passion. Like, just to tell you how much Cridersville was his passion, the day he went into the hospital, he was at the track working that morning. He was at the track, he was working on the facility, he was mowing the pits, getting the track figured out, working on upgrades, coming up with meetings and ideas and stuff he wanted to do, and just a couple hours later, he was in the hospital. But that same day, he was there at the track working. He wanted that place to be the absolute best it could be, and I think he's one of the few people that actually cared and wanted that place to be the absolute best it could be. Because I think, they've had people there in the past that maybe wanted it to be like their own personal playground or just wanted to, try and make some money, which it's a go-kart track. You're not going to make any money. But Joe truly, truly cared about that place and wanted it to be its best to the point that, the day he went into the hospital, he was still at that track working that morning. And, I think to a lot of us, it was very unexpected and, just didn't, we never saw it coming. He said he didn't feel good or something and he went to the hospital and a couple weeks later he was gone. And it was a huge shock to our little local racing community. It was a big bummer. So we're doing a lot for it. Like I said, special wraps, awards, money. I mean, Dan the man put up some money. I put up some money. Kirk's doing, the hard charge award and all the checks and his neighborhood. It's just, I've been talking for a long time now, but this race is very special to me and a lot of us Cridersville locals, basically everyone there. So deal with me talking. Joe just meant a lot to all of us. He meant a lot to that track. He was the one that was going to turn it around and make it good again. And as good as it is now, I think it could have been even better if he was still here. So in Joe's memory, for his legacy, for his love of this track and his love of flatheads, we're going to go race and make it special. So I'm going to stop with this intro. I'm going to show off the wrap the Kirk made for me and the one she made for her brother and maybe some of the checks. And I hope you guys really, really enjoy this video. If you're not able to make it, please watch this video, give it a like, give it a comment. Let people at least watch the intro so people know how much Joe meant to everyone around here, and hopefully some of you guys are coming up and you're going to race with us and we're going to have a good time and, we're going to give out a lot of money and, just remember Joe. All right, so this is the wrap Kirk made for me. This is originally for the Charlie Floyd race at Wheelersburg, but unfortunately got rained out and I was really bummed about that. But really, the premise behind this is she wanted me to have a special wrap for a special race because, all the big dogs, they always have brand new wraps for all the big races and they're always looking fresh and looking good, for like Eldora and stuff like that. And she wanted me to feel like that. She wanted me to feel special and feel like a big dog and like I belonged, I guess, even though I really don't. Because, we go to those races and we just get our butts absolutely kicked. So it was a nice little gesture. She wanted me to have something special for that race because Wheelersburg was my home track and I raced with Charlie Floyd and she really wanted me to have something nice for that. But since that race got postponed and we weren't able to make the rain out, I thought, let's put the flathead on this kart and we'll just sit it back and we'll save it for Joe's race because I still wanted this wrap to be used for a special event, a special occasion. I didn't want to just get torn up on a local night. So to keep it fresh and special and meaning something, we just put this kart back and saved it for Joe's race. So I really, really like it. She gave me a new logo here. The ghosted overdrives are super cool. I think that's awesome. It's a very clean, simple design, just some stripes and stuff like angulars. I like my angles, I like my triangles, I like my shapes, so it looks good. So then the Do It on the Dirt, this was actually to go back to my first kart whenever I started at Wheelersburg Raceway. I had Do It in the Dirt down the left side up here on my first go-kart. So since we were going back to my home track where it all started, we put that on there to tie it back to that very first go-kart, which I guess going to Cridersville doesn't mean as much since that was not where I got my start. But that's going back to my first kart, new logo, nice clean scheme, and we just put her back to keep it special for Joe's race because I just felt like he deserved it. Joe deserves special, I didn't want to get it torn up at a local show, so we'll tear it up for Joe, and then I'll show you the one she did for her brother too, which is super cool. But yeah, new wrap for me. Put it back and saved it just for this once Wheelersburg got postponed, and I think it looks really good. And Kirk knocked it out of the park, so if y'all are interested, Overdrive Designs is Kirk's business. Look him up on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description. If y'all need anything, get a hold of her. All right, so here are the couple of the checks that Kirk made for the class. This is the big one for the flatheads, the 2005 to win. And then here he's got a medium check. So each class is going to get a check. So flatheads, medium, heavy, what else? Predator, heavy, and then Junior 1 and Junior 3. I think that's the only classes they're running, but they're all going to get a check. And then the hard charger of the flatheads is also going to get a hard charger award along with the $55, which was sponsored by Kirk and Overdrive Designs. But I think these turned out really well. They're simple, they're clean, they're easy to read. You know, we got Joe on here smiling, looking good, probably at the track this day. That's why he's so happy. We got all the sponsors on there. All these people donated in some way to this race, and it means a lot. Obviously, Overdrive, Thunberg Racing, Steve's Automotive, Boyd's, what is that? Boyd's Construction, Allen County Awards, Lima Moose, TNT Auto, Joe's Neighborhood, which is the cool one to me, just the people that live around them, you know. I mean, your neighbors, come on. D&M Fencing, Ohio Cycle Works, Fox Fabrication, Lima Airy 730, I don't know what that is, CSA, and then obviously Dan the Man, Mike Doby, and Rusty and Janet May. You know, thanks to all those people for donating, you know, making the Joe Hicks Memorial what it is and making it special. But these are just a couple of the checks that she has done. She also has just the sponsors. I think they're going to hang that up in like the sign-in booth or something cool. But just one of the ways that Kirk herself is trying to give back to this race, because like I said, her and Joe were close. They were buddies. He always stuck up for her, or, you know, yelled at her when she needed yelled at. And, you know, got the logo, everything on there. I just think they look really good. They're not too busy. You know, it's just the right amount. You can tell what it is. You can tell what's going on. You know, you got Joe on there. He's obviously like the main focus. So I think these turned out really, really well. And I think she did a great job. So I hope one of us Cridersville locals comes home with this, because I think that's what Joe would really, really want, was for one of us to win. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Like I said, I know there's some fast guys coming in that'll probably, unfortunately, end up getting that. But I'm really hoping one of us locals can, like, pull something out of our ass and bring this home, because that's what Joe would really want. All right, so in addition to the trophy checks, the feature winner signs the hard charger award, and I guess my wrap. Another thing special for the Joe Hicks race that Overdrive, which is Kirk, is doing is she made another special event wrap for Brian. So it's a Pepsi themed wrap. If anyone knows Joe, his favorite drink like ever was Pepsi. You never saw him without one. So we thought this would be a fun way to just give back and I guess remember Joe and his memory and something else he loved, which was Pepsi Cola. In fact, for the first probably 2 or 3 years that I raced at Cridersville, I didn't even know his name. I just knew him as Pepsi. So a fun little give back in honor of Joe and his favorite drink. Nice little special wrap for Brian with the Pepsi theme. And on top of that, Overdrive is also giving out a can of Pepsi to every driver at the drivers meeting. So just a fun little bonus, fun little add-in to make this race something special in memory of Joe. So I think this thing looks great. I think she absolutely knocked it out of the park. It looks really, really cool. Kind of sucks it'll probably only get ran once, but very cool. I guess it's a very cool wrap and a very cool memorial to Joe for, you know, just to remember him by. So yeah, I just wanted to show this off. I think it looks really good, and I think it's a cool memorial, and everyone that shows up at the drivers meeting will get a can of Pepsi. So, all right, we are here nice and early. The place is looking really good. They've done a really good job making it look nice for Joe. They've even got some balloons and flags and new signage, all the sponsors, which Kirk made. But it's looking really good. They even made like a staging area over here. The gates opened like 13 minutes ago, and there are go-karts everywhere. They were lined up 3 wide all the way back to the road. I just can't believe the turnout and how early everyone was here, so I think that's awesome. We're gonna have a packed house and a lot of karts, and hopefully some good racing and stuff for Joe. All right, gates have only been open for an hour, so we're gonna do a little pit walk here because karts have been rolling in. We got 2 flatheads here, a couple clones, my kart, Brian's kart, we got Vince. Over there's Randall. Brian. Team Thunberg, they sponsored this race. They put some money up. Buddy. Landon Twining. The Jarens. Jarens? I don't really know how it's pronounced. We got Dan the Man right here. Dan the Man working on tires. Go-karts everywhere. Timmerman, he's usually pretty quick. That's Hicks, that is Joe's son and Joe's grandson. We got the Frishy gang back here. They're the ones who built my flathead. Look at this rig. Look how nice that is. Let's see, I'm not walking all the way back there. Look at all those tires. Man, I brought 5 sets. They got more than me. Now granted, gates have only been open an hour. It's only 1 o'clock. There are already go-karts everywhere. It's nice. This is damn near what it looks like for a regular show. And we still got like 5 hours till race time or something like that. So this is crazy. There's a cart. Looks like we got some juniors. There's money being paid out in the juniors. Jamie Wheeler, the promoter of the Midwest Race Champions. Rada McClone. Flat carts. We got M&M Performance with Smo Tater driving. They'll be fast. Ballinger Racing, some more locals. He runs Junior 3. He's usually pretty quick. He also has a YouTube channel, so look him up. I'm pretty sure it's just Ballinger Racing on YouTube. Bailey Cardwell from Tennessee. He's going to run a couple classes. He'll be quick. Ryan Schneider out of retirement. He's running trucks. And then the Ben Moosehauer son Colton's going to run flathead. So, and then we're back at the beginning. So a lot of karts here for only being an hour. And race time I think is at like 5:30 or 6. So a lot of karts for how early it is. I think it's a good turnout and really pumped to see that. Glad a lot of people are coming out to support Joe in this race. So it's good to see. Hopefully more will roll in. I'm sure they will since it's still pretty early. But that is our 1 p.m. pit walk. Only an hour of open gate time. All right, so there are 28 entered in the flathead class. That is way more than I ever expected. I was expecting like 16 total. So 28 is insane. Just blew it out of the water what I thought it was going to be. But with that being said, they are only starting 16 in the feature. So it's going to be tough to make. There's a lot of fast guys here. So I'm hoping I can make it in. Even if I'm 16th, I'll be pumped. I'd hate to go home after the B main, especially at this race for Joe. So the goal is to make it into the A. I think to make it into that top 16 is going to be tough, but I'm going to give it my all and see what we can do, and hopefully I can put it in the show. And if not, well, I'll be disappointed. I'm sure Joe will be disappointed too that us locals sucked, but we'll see how it is. And a lot of karts, can't believe it. Happy that there's a lot of karts. I was only expecting 16, so 28 is awesome. I was hoping this was going to be big, and it seems like it is, so I'm very happy about that.
That would be amazing. Do it.
really well. I got a third. That was what I needed to do. The second heat, not so much. Starting on the outside definitely sucked, but I think what really got me the most was getting sent to the tail there, and then for whatever reason the 21 decided to left turn me halfway down the front stretch, and it was just kind of over from there. So I ended up with a third and a fifth. That puts me in a consi, which really fucking sucks, honestly, because I was going to be in the show and felt like we had a good piece and stuff was going well, but we still have a fast kart. So hopefully, as long as I'm not buried in a consi, I can maybe get a top 2 and still put her in the show. So not giving up yet. I'm gonna go out there in the consi, see what happens. Kart's feeling good. It feels fast, so hopefully I can sneak into that top 2. But it's just a real bummer. If I could have just pulled off another third, I would have been all right. And just didn't happen. It wasn't the way the cards were played or the cards were dealt. So it is what it is. Gonna try. Really bummed out about that. Say I'm upset with how this ended is an absolute understatement. If Joe were here right now, he'd be extremely disappointed in what's going on tonight. That's all there is to it. I'm pretty hot right now, so I might end up saying things I regret. I don't know, but that second heat was stupid. I was under the guy, clearly. He left turns me into the wall and he loops it and I go to the tail. I mean, we were dead even. You can see it on the camera. There was no remnants of his kart anywhere in front of me, but for some reason I go to the tail for it. Then on the restart, going down the front stretch like 2 laps in, he fucking left turns me again right down the straightaway, and I just don't get it. B main is what it is. We just didn't quite have it. Didn't get a good start, whatever. But the second B main is what really pisses me off, because the dude that caused all my troubles in the second heat was running second in the B main, which is a transfer spot. So whatever. If you're good enough to be in second, that's fine. That's awesome. But here's the deal: he got passed, and he got passed clean. The guy went into the corner. He nudged him, moved him out of the way. He didn't wreck him. He didn't spin him out. He didn't run into the wall, nothing. He just gave him a tap and went on by, and he got second, and he got the transfer, and it was awesome. Not gonna lie, I was still mad. I'm still mad, but it was awesome, and he was my new favorite driver. But in a crazy turn of events, for some reason, he got scored third, and the kid that got passed, who fucked me in my heat race, got put in second. So magically, even though he got passed clean and crossed the line in third, he's now somehow second and headed to the feature. And it was BS, and my theory is the president of the track owns the go-kart he's running. So that's kind of weird, isn't it? That the guy who's in charge of running the track somehow made sure his kart got in the race. So it's kind of nuts. Maybe the theory's a little crazy, I don't know, but it makes sense to me. And it's BS, and if Joe were here, he would be upset. He'd be disappointed. He would never let that shit happen. He'd never let the favoritism happen. I mean, how can you get passed cleanly for a transfer spot and then the other guy gets screwed like that? Like, it's insane. And I'm sure I'm rambling and sounding like a crazy person, but I'm pissed off. And it's not even about the fact that I didn't make the show. It's just like the blatant favoritism that the track president gave to his own goddamn karts. Like, it is insane and ridiculous. I just don't understand it. If you earn that spot fair and square, that is awesome. And he was going to. He was running in second. He had the spot fair and square. But he also got past fair and square. He didn't get wrecked. He didn't get taken out. He got past fair and square. And they straight up just bent the dude over and effed him in the A, who worked his ass off the whole race to set up a clean pass. He worked hard and deserved to be in that race, and he got it taken away from him. And it is BS. And I'm so upset, and I'm so mad that it ended this way. And if Joe were here, that shit would not have flown. It just wouldn't have flown. That's all there is to it. The only silver lining to this is there is a local starting on the pole. One of us local Cridersville guys is starting on the pole, and I hope he wins it, because if anything can turn this around for Joe, it's as if that local wins the race. And like I said, I'm mad, I'm pissed off. I don't know if we'll ever come back. We probably will, but as of right now, I don't want to be back, and I'm getting out of here. I've had enough, and it's just like it was 2 or 3 years ago whenever, you know, the guy that ran the track had 3 karts running, and they all got what they wanted, and it's happening again. It started all over, and I just can't believe it, because this year has been so good. They've been headed in the right direction. They've been doing the right thing, and now all of a sudden it's just all downhill, and let me tell you, he made sure his kart got in that race, and it just sucks, because he got passed. That's all there is to it. He got passed in that B main. He finished 3rd, and they fucked the poor dude that passed him. That's all there is to it. So this will be our last one at Cridersville for a while. We're headed to J&M next week, so I guess I'll see you there. All right, I've had some time to reflect here. Obviously, I was pretty fired up, and I'm still mad. And I'm not upset or mad that I didn't make this show. I mean, I'm disappointed, but I knew all along that was going to be, you know, a tall task, because, you know, when the money is up, big guys come in and they're better. So I knew making the show was going to be a tall task. I'm upset I didn't, but, you know, I knew the odds were against me, so that's okay. What really, 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 really upset me and made me mad happened in B main number 2. And honestly, it doesn't even affect me, because I wasn't even in that race. I was in B main 1. So this doesn't even affect me, but it was just so blatant. It was insane. Like, the most insane and blatant favoritism I've ever seen in my entire life. And I can't get over it. I don't understand it. I don't have words. I don't know how to explain it. It was just, that poor dude that passed in a second got screwed so hard. Like, to the point, like, he came up and asked and was like, so you're telling me I didn't make the race? Like, I don't understand. Like, even I don't understand. Like, I'm mad for him. Like I said, I wasn't even in that race. It doesn't affect me. But I'm so mad about that. That was just the most insane form of favoritism I've ever seen in my life. I just don't get it. And I'm even more upset that it was such a shit show. Like, of all nights, of all races, why tonight? Why Joe's Memorial? Why the Joe Hicks race? Like, why of all nights did you decide that you were going to play favoritism that bad and do everything you can to make sure that your kart's got in that race? And the thing is like, of the other 3 people that came out of a B main, they all ended up in the top 5. Your dude finished last, half a track back. I just, extremely upset. I don't get it. And I wish it would have ended better and went better for Joe. I mean, his family ended up leaving because they were so mad. Like, his grandson got black flagged. Like, it was just, of all nights, for it to go downhill and be a shit show, why tonight? Why did you choose tonight for the favoritism? I don't understand. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a tall task for me to make the show, and it was. And, you know, we were good early and we weren't super good late, and that's just the way it goes. But that second B main, man, I just don't get it.